Oscar Micheaux was born in Metropolis, Illinois, on January 2, 1884. He moved to Chicago at age 17 and worked there for 5 years before moving to South Dakota to farm and write. Michaud's experiences as a homesteader served as a subject matter for his novel, The Homesteader. In 1919, he produced a film version of the novel, which was the first full-length feature produced by an African American. Michaud continued to make his films for the next 3 decades until his death on March 25, 1951, in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Wheeler Winston Dixon, James Ryan Professor of Film Studies at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and this is Frame by Frame. I'd like to speak for a minute or so about Oscar Micheaux, a pioneering African-American filmmaker who was born in 1884, began his work as a novelist, and when no one would make his novels into a film, he did it himself. He began with a film called The Homesteader in 1919. He made a response to D.W. Griffith's incredibly racist Birth of a Nation with Within Our Gates, and he continued on to make films in both the silent and the sound era up until 1948 on marginal budgets of $5,000 to $10,000, releasing the films himself, distributing them often out of the back of his car, the trunk of his car. He would travel from state to state and distribute them. Along with another filmmaker, Spencer Williams, whose films like Blood of Jesus represent an enormously important part of cinema history that's been overlooked. At that time, the dominant cinema did not represent African Americans in any positive light at all. And so these films of Oscar Micheaux and Spencer Williams are extremely important not only as documents of cinema history, but also in giving a voice to those who are being marginalized by the dominant cinema. So Oscar Micheaux's films are now available on DVD. You can easily rent them. Some people criticize them for their lack of production values, but when you're making a feature film for $5,000 to $10,000, I think you certainly have to cut a few breaks to the people who are working under such enormous conditions of adversity. And his films, I think, are absolutely beautiful. So Oscar Micheaux, pioneering African-American filmmaker. I'm Wheeler Winston Dixon, and this is Frame by Frame.
Spencer Williams was born July 14, 1893. He was an African-American actor and filmmaker. Spencer was best known for playing Andy in the Amos and Andy television show and for directing the 1941 race film The Blood of Jesus. Williams was a pioneer African-American film producer and director. Spencer also served in the U.S. Army in World War I. Spencer died December 13, 1969 of a kidney ailment in Los Angeles, California.